Hello guys, and welcome to day 6 of this full stack modern hospital management system. So in our last video or day 5 of this project, we built this homepage here or this dashboard here for the doctor, and this is the part that doctor will interact with. So we built this patient page here, and also we looked at how doctor can navigate to the patient, to the appointment and see the appointment that patient did with them. And again, we looked at selecting the patient and then adding the treatment here. So the doctor need to select a patient in order to add this treatment to them. And remember, when we'll be integrating with our backend, remember when the doctor select this patient and then add treatment, that treatment will be added to a database, and then email will be sent to the patient regarding the treatment. And also, when the patient log into the part of this application or their dashboard, they will see the treatment is added there so that they can be able to track and see the treatment that the patient is being given. So that's what we did. We looked at this, we built this input here for searching the patient, and then we had this pagination here. Remember, right now we are doing the front end. We'll go and do the back end. We are almost there, and then we can see the functionality, the whole functionality. So in today's video, I just want us to look the finance part of this application. So we'll generate a module for patient and for finance, that is, and we'll see this part here, this dashboard here that will be accessed by people from finance. So see, this is what we'll be building. This will be simple, but I just want you to have an open mind and see other things that you can do and you can add at this application. So let's get into the video. But before that, remember, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, and let's get into the tutorial. So guys, as per now, I know you know what we do when we want to create another part of this application like finance, and we have our diagram here that we are following. And now you can see we have this home component here. We did a module for the patient, a module for a doctor, and right now we want to look for a module for finance, and then later on we look at the module for admin. Remember, we already created for the reception here, and if you haven't gone through the other videos, kindly go through them and see all these parts that we have built here. So in our next video, we'll be looking at admin module here, and then we just jump into backend and API, all that stuff, and then we'll start integrating. So without much ado, now we just look at how to generate module, and here you can come and open another tab, and then you can say Angular modules. I just want you to master this because I don't want us to have problems generating modules. So to generate modules, you can just come here, because I just want you to have this knowledge of generating module and creating lazy loading feature, because that is very important when actually you want to create a scalable application. So just come here, copy this, and before that even you can go through the whole documentation here in Angular website, because it is very important. So now let's go in our terminal here. In our terminal here, what we'll do, we'll just paste this command here, and again we want to just change this module root here and call it finance. Remember, it will be added at our app routing, so call that finance, and this one also, the module is finance here. It's very easy when you are using this command. So let's enter and let wait it to generate. Let this application this module generate together with the routing, and the routing will be added automatically in app routing module.ts, and this is very easy and very good way of doing things. So Now, before it finishes generating this module, I just want to come here in our diagram here, and now I can just explain a little bit of lazy loading. And lazy loading is one of the features that make Angular a really powerful framework, because remember, when we have a patient, for example, and the first thing that this patient should see, this patient will see the home component by default, because that is the landing page of this application, and then this module will be loaded. Remember, if the patient wants to go into the patient side of this application, the other modules will be ignored and they won't load until there is a need for them. And remember, in this application, if the patient need to go to the side of patient, he or she will not be in need of going to the doctor side or finance, admin, or reception. The same case with our doctor and the same case with finance. It will help our application load faster, because it will load chunks, a small chunk of this application, and which is necessary to that need or to that part of the application or the user. What the user need, that's what the application will load, and this makes our application faster and it works very, very good. So now I think it has finished generating, and you can see here. So when you come here in now our application here, let me first of all close all this here, this module that I opened. So let me close everything inside here, because we don't need it right now. So I have closed all this to make it look neat. And then now you can see we have this module that is called finance here, and you can see we have this finance.module.ts, where we will import all the other modules that we need to use in this finance part here, like font awesome, remember we'll use that, and pagination right there. So now, as you can see here in our app routing here, you can see we have this path called finance, and now it is pointing this route to this module called finance.module here. And now this is what I was telling you, that the Angular will add this routing for you automatically, since you run that command, because you said that it should include even the routing here. You can see we included this dash route here and said finance, and that's why it's creating this route called finance, which will load this finance module here. So now let's get into the module that is called finance here, and right here you can see it's only text that is here. So in our finance here, I just want us to have sidebar and the main bar. So remember, if you come here, you can see we have this side nav here, or sidebar, and this main bar here, or this one we'll call the home page here, that will be included here, and this one will have like the finance details here, so that the finance can just, if that treatment has been paid, now the finance part can just click this button and toggle to be paid, because they will be receiving the statement from the patient. So now let's generate other components, and for now, for example, let me clear here and say ng generate component, and then it should generate in this finance here folder, or in our case a module, and then we want to have sidebar or side nav. Let me call side nav for now. You can call it sidebar. So let it generate a component, and then in finance, and when this command here works, you will see that this component will be registered in our module, since this is a module called finance. I'll show that to you. So now we need a home here, another component there. So now I just want us to go in our code here, and I'll see when you generate a component in this module here, in our finance.modules, you can see we have this component being registered here, home component and sign up. Automatically they will be added or it will be registered in our module here, because this command understands that we need to add this component, or we will use this component in our module. And this module here, this one will control everything that we do in this component, and this component will just depend on this finance module here, so that we can add, it can be independent. That is, these components can be independent or can be independent from the other outside here, outside or from other modules out here. So now let me just come here in our application, and now I can try and go to the route for the finance here. Outside here, we can just try and go to this side, and now you can see we have this finance works here. So now I just want to create something like this, whereby the finance people can navigate from, let's say, pending bills, statements, paid bills, and then they can log out. So now to do that, I just want to come here in our routing, and inside here now I should indicate several things. Like now, because we'll be having other route inside this route here, what I'll do, I'll just come here, and to embed those routes inside this component here called finance, what we'll do, we'll create children here. And if you are not understanding, kindly hang there, you'll understand this in a few minutes. So now we'll have the first route here, and the first route here will add a path also. This path here will have this default or the root component, and our component here will call this component home component. And remember, choose this home component to be from the finance, because remember, we have our finance. Don't import this from patient, and don't import this from doctor, because even the doctor, we had that component. So add that, and then again we need another route, and this one, or we don't need in our case, because will not be navigating from one component to the other, or in here we won't be navigating from pending bills, statement, and paid bills. This one you can do and advance this application, because I don't want us to have a lot of big, or to have this project to go for a very long time. So now let's open here, and you can see now it will have, we just need to indicate something now inside our here in our finance here, that is saying finance work. Now here I just need to have two divs, or I just have, first of all, as usual, we need to have this container div here, that is default there, and then inside here we'll have this div, and this div here we'll call it sidebar here, and inside here we'll have now our sidebar or side nav. Remember, we had this side nav here, so add it there, and again we'll have another div here, this side dot, we call it main bar, just there. And here I won't add anything, I'll just add router outlet, because I want the routing inside here to be controlled by Angular. So this one is router outlet, just like that, and that's okay. Now you can see we have this sidebar here and this main bar. Let me call it main bar, so for the styling. So now let us see in our application here and see how it will look like. So you can see we have side nav here, and we have homeworks here. So this one is a side nav component added there, and then this is home component added here. So but now I just want them to have their part. The side nav should have their part here, and the home component should have their part here. So what I will do, I'll just type this page here. So I just copy this, and I'll come here in our CSS, and then let me paste that container. The first thing that I do, I'll say display flex there, and then I'll say actually that's okay, because I don't need to add a line item center, because it won't work well with the side nav and main bar. So now I just want to add this sidebar here, and I'll just give it a flex of 1. So add that sidebar, and then I'll say flex 1, because I just want it to occupy a small part, and then we'll have main bar here. And now our main bar here, we can give it a flex of 4, because I want our sidebar to be smaller 4 times than our main bar here. So now when we open our application, you see this one will be added here. So now we can go and start styling this side nav here. So let's go in our side nav here, and then inside here now we can add this here, div.container, just like that. And now we can style it first of all, because I want us to see how it will look like and for you guys to understand. So I just give a background color first of all, and this background color I just give it red, and then I'll say height should be 100 VH, just like that. I won't be adding width, since our width will be added by flex 1. And now let's see how it will look like. So let it load, and we can see we have this side nav here. But for this time, I won't use that color. I just want to use another color, and that color is like grayish. So we can see here we have this color here. So let's come here in our application, and then that color, we'll add it EB, and then ED, and then we have F9, just like that. I think that's the color that I want. So let's come here and see how it will look. So this one is the same as this one, it's okay. So now we need to add these other things here. So first of all, we have this icon, we have welcome Jane, everything's inside here. So let's start by adding this one here. So I will have another div inside container here, and I call this div navigation. Our nav, actually I can call it nav, and inside here now I need to start adding icons and then the text. So inside here in our module, first thing that I want to add is a module called font awesome, and font awesome is for the icons. That's one I'm using it for the icons, so add it there, because we need to add it there. And again, because we have used it in our modules, other modules, I'll just add it. First of all, I'll just go like in here in our doctor, and then inside like in our home here, we can look for that importing for the icons. So let me just come here in our top bar here, and inside here we can see how you can import them. So let's copy this here, because I don't want us to have a long tutorial. So let's scroll down, and inside here now in our side nav and component, now you can paste this. Actually we need this user, that's one will be using it. So now what we'll do, you just initialize it here, down here, just like that, and then initialize it. And now then we need to add it inside our HTML, and to add that, let's look again at how we can add it. So in our top bar here, we have used it, this far icon here. So copy it, all of it, copy it, and then close everything inside there. So just come here now in our HTML inside here, and we'll have that user icon there, and then we have a span, and this span now we'll have saying welcome Jane, So we'll have this, and we'll give a class of, let's say, name, and we'll say welcome Jane, just like that. So another thing, we'll have these other spans here, but we'll include this pending bill statement, paid, all of it. So now, first of all, let's add a span here, and the first span here, we'll call this span pending bills. So we'll have pending bills here, and again we'll have another one, and this one here now we'll have a statement. We'll call it statements, and another one. Again, we have this span, and now let's see, it will call paid bills. So have paid bills here, and the other one here we should, or is logout, just like that. So now we need to start styling, because as per now, if you check in our code here, you can see how it looks like. It is not pretty at all, it's very ugly. And now the first thing that I need to add is to style the nav first of all, because I want us to go systematically. So we'll have a margin. Let me have a margin of something like 50 pixels. So another thing that I want to add is display flex, and I'll just add flex direction to be column. Another thing that I will add is justify content, and I will add it to be center. And let's see how it will look for now. So let it load, and now you can see we have this one. So I think we can change this from margin to padding, that is, and I think that will be okay. So let's see if it will work for us, this padding. So you can see we have that padding. So now actually I can give a padding of 50 pixels, and because this is right and this is top, bottom, and then left and left and right, though we can give it that padding there instead of adding padding left and padding top, something like that. So let's see now how it looks. So you can see we have that. Now we need to start styling this user icon, and remember, as you can see here, we have this class called user icon. So I just copy this, so copy it inside our CSS here, just add that class, and again now we can add to this font size to have a font size of, let's say, 25 pixels, or we can give 30, and let's see how it will look like. So 30, I think that is okay. So no, it's a small one, so let's give a font size of, let's say, 50, and I think that will be looking great. So yeah, you can see we have that icon here, that is for user, and then again we need to style the name. So this name, we can add the font size to be having a font size of, let's say, 17 pixels, font weight to be 900, and the other thing that we can add, or I think that will be okay for now, and let's see how it will look like, because I wanted to add some margin, but I think that's okay. We can give now we can style the spans. So we can say nav, and inside nav now we can start styling the span. So this span here, so we are selecting all spans, and we can give a margin of, let's say, 20 pixels, and let's see how it will look like. So 20 pixels, yeah, just like that. I think that's okay, but I want to exempt this one. So rather than styling that, I'll just come here, and what I'll do, I'll add this as, let's say, h3, something like that, h3, and heading 3, that is, if you want to call it that way. So now that so that it style the others. So you can see we have that one. And actually the other thing that we can do here in our styling is that we can give align item center. So let's add align item center so that they will style everything at the center. So let it load, and now you can see it is looking great. So now in our span here we can add the font weight to be font weight of bold, and I don't want to add font size. The other thing that I can do is to add font cursor to be pointer. And now let's see how it will look like. So you can see we have this, but remember now we need icons here. So inside here in our component here, side nav component, we need a few icons. First of all, we need this user here, and for signing out also. So first sign out, and I will add that, and again I need the other for this for money bills. Yeah, so money bills, and again we need another one, and this one is for receipts like that. And the last one, or I think that will be enough. So the other thing that I need just to add is now to initialize them here. So the first one, I'll call it logout actually, rather than far logout, and then repeat the same thing. So I call this actually I don't know why I'm capitalizing F. So file user or file sign in, sign out, alt, just like this one. And again we'll have this, and we call it money, or let's call it bills, and this one we'll call it for money bills or money bill. And then receipts, we'll have this called receipts, just like that. And this one we'll initialize receipts here, file receipts, just like that. I think that's okay. And this one here is semicolon, is not a comma. So now here inside we can just copy this one here like that, or all of it actually. So now copy this, and then before now adding the text here, you can add that. Here also you can add that, and here you can add that, and also here you can paste that. So now here I just need to remove this user icon because it will be styled with this icon here for the user. So remove this, and now the other thing that I want to add, remember, is now change these icons here. For now, this first one here should be for the bill here. So I call this bill, or actually let me confirm, it is bills. So there is a bills. So this one is bills. The other one here is receipts. So have receipts here, and to confirm actually is there, it's right here, receipts. And the other one here is for that we are calling logout, this one. So just like that, then see how it is looking. So after it loads here, you can see we have now these icons here. So the other thing now we can do is to style these icons here. And here I want to add another, this pending bills here. And I think I have not added for bills here. This one should be for the bills here actually. So this one should be for the bills, or called bills. And again we have these receipts, or actually pending bills. Okay, this one is receipts, so this one is receipts here, just like that. And then the other one here is bills also. I just add that, and you can add any icon that you feel is relevant. And now I need now to just come here and now style these icons using this class called icon. So inside here in our CSS, add this icon, And again, I just add font size to have a font size of, let's say, 30 pixels. And we'll have a margin right here, and this margin right will have a margin right of, let's say, 30 pixels, just like that. I think that's okay. And let's see how it will look like. So now you can see we have this one here because I have given a lot of space, and we don't have this margin, we don't have that bigger margin. So let's add margin to be 10, and let's see. Okay, it's not working, and I think this is because actually this one should be right, margin right. Yeah, so let's see now. So I think this is because we give this margin to be a lot, this nav here, this for the nav here, and then let's give it like 20. I think 20 now will be okay. So after you do that, now you can see you have this, and I feel those icons are very big. So let's small add this to be 20, like that. So again, so I think that's now will be okay. We have these pending bills here, statement, okay. So actually now the other thing that we can add is this margin. Now because we have space, let's add that margin to be the right margin right for the icon to be 30 pixels. And now you can see how it looks like. So we have that, and actually we can do now anything that now we want. So now we'll just come here in our homeworks here, in our home component, and now we need to add this here. We need this nav bar here, and we have these other things here. So now let's go in our home component. So let me close that side nav, and inside here in our home, we only need to have our component. We need to have this container actually. So add that, and inside here now we can have this dot. We can add this to be patient or bills, or let's call treatment header, just like that. And add the spans here because we need to have these spans, and we should copy them because I just want to give it to style it without a lot of hassle. So let's copy this and paste it here so that I can see what I'll be adding without rather than going back and forth. So add that, and then we have another span. This will add drag, and here in our span also we'll have a doctor here. Another thing is bills, all bill. So we'll have again date, because it need to have a date here. This is span, and this is date now. The other thing we need to have is a span, and this one we say paid, that just like that. So we can remove everything inside here. The other thing that we need here is to have a div for the body, and this will call treatment. Okay, so need to have a treatment body here. So I don't know why it is not typing. So have a treatment body here. So inside here, as usual, we'll have now a treatment.item. So we'll have this treatment item here, treatment item, just like that. And again, now we need to have this here because it will be like a table. So copy everything inside here, add it there, and now inside here we can say something like the treatment that was done to this patient. We can say it was therapy. Let's add therapy here. Actually, I don't have a lot of terms for medical since I don't have their background. So I'll just add anything that is coming on my mind. A drug that was added, we'll say brufen. A doctor, we'll just say Dr. James, just like that. A bill, we can say a bill of, let's add like $200, and then the day can be 2023, and then January date 1, just like that. So here we can say it's pending. This is not paid, so it's pending. So now we can just add this here, or we can just copy it and paste it several times. Remember, when we have a data from our backend, we just look through the data and then display it here. So add and paste all those, and now let's see how it will look. So let's come here in our application, and then you can see how it looks here. So I start by styling the container. So we just add here .container here, and then I'll say first of all is a margin, and this one I give a margin of 50 pixels all around. So let's see how it will look. So you can see where it has come. So the other thing is the treatment header. So we'll have a treatment header here. You can call it the way you want. So treatment header here, I just add first of all background color, and in our case here I use the same color as the one that we used here inside our side nav, this one here. So just copy it, and then inside here in our SCSS you can paste it, and let's add a padding, and this padding can be 10 pixels. And again, now we can say display flex here, and we can add let's say align items center, and justify content to be center, just like that. And then font weight to be bold since it's header. So let's add this 900 here. So the other thing that we can add is maybe width. We can give a max width of 1024 pixels, just like that. I don't want it to occupy the 100% width. So let's see how it will look like. So you can see we have this one here, and let me first of all remove this because it's not giving me the result that I want. So let's see now, let it load, and let's see how it will look like. So you can see here it is not giving justify content to be between space between, because we give it center, and here we should give a space evenly or even between. So now let's see. Yeah, you can see we have that one, and now we can style this here down here, and then remember we'll have an input here. So now let's add this treatment body. We'll have treatment, actually it's not treatment body, it is treatment item, and treatment item will have the same styling with this treatment header since it is a table and I want to have everything working as correct. So now remove this background color, and again remove this font weight because this is not a header. The only thing that we can add is font size, to have a font size of, let's say, 18 pixels. And now first of all, let's see how it will look like. So come here and see if it will style correctly. So you can see it is not working, and I think it's because I had this name spelled incorrect. So now let's see if it has been styled. So yeah, you can see we have this one here, but even before that we need to have a input here for searching. So I'll just come here in our HTML, and then before the treatment body here, we'll have a div and we'll have a class of, let's say, search, and inside this div we'll have this input here, and this input will be type of text, and then placeholder we say search bill by, let's look at, or we can just search by date, search by treatment, or search by anything that we want. So by now let me look at what we can search that bill with, or by date. So let's come here and search by date, because that's okay, and that's something that makes sense. So now let's go and style this search here, and it should be above this. So inside here now we can have search, and because I want to center it, I can say display flex, and then align items to be center, and then justify content to be center, just like that. And another thing, now we can style at the input, so we can say search, and then inside search we have input, and now this input we can give a width of, let's say, 70%, a padding of, let's say, 10 pixels, just like that. So let's see how it will look like. So we have that, and that is a lot. The width is very big, so I just say 50%, and we need a margin. Let's have a margin of 20 pixels. So now we can just try, and now we see how it will look like. I think that's great. Now here, now the other thing that I want to add is pagination down here. Remember, we have this pagination here. So let's add that pagination here, and the functionality we'll add it when we have our backend. So you know how we add the pagination by now. So to add pagination, the first thing that we need, let me first of all close this sign up here, and inside here now, what we need to import ngx module for pagination, just like that. And since we used it in our last video, in our doctor module here, I just copy everything. So it was in our home here, I guess. So just copy here this one. So if you don't know what we are doing, just go back in our video and see, and you'll understand what we are doing. So now inside our home here, now we just add this current page, and the correction is the data that we'll be using. So, and then the other thing that we need to do is to just come here and copy this looping here. Remember, it'll be looping. So copy this. I think we just copy it here, just like that. So scroll down again, and inside here we need to add this here in our treatment body. And the other thing now is to add pagination control. So just inside here in our HTML, so down here we see the pagination, this one here. We need this pagination, so copy it, and let me close that now, this doctor here, because we don't need it right now. So now let's come down here, and before this last div now, we can add that there. So actually, we need to style this pagination, but I'll show you how we can style it. So let's let it load and see if it has added the pagination. And you can see now we have this pagination here. So the other thing that I need now to do is to just style it so that we center it. I just want it to appear here at the center. So now let's copy this class here, this custom class that we give it. So now in our CSS here, down here you need to add this and say display flex, and then align items to be center, justify content to be center again. So the other thing, we can say font width to be bold, because I want our pagination to be visible. And again, we can have a margin. This margin, we can add it to be 20 pixels because we want a space around it. So just like that, now you can see we have this pagination here. For now, I don't want to add anything in this one here in our finance, because this is something that you can do when you run about or you just go through my videos. You just know how you can add other things here, and I don't want to make this project big, very big, and it would be a challenge for you to just add functionality by yourself, looking at what I have done. So that will make you, or it will keep you on the edge. So now I just want to end here our tutorial. In our next video, remember, we'll be looking at our dashboard, admin dashboard here, this one. And now we have been left with this. In our front end is only this dashboard here that has been we have been left with. And after that, now remember, we just start to look at our backend, our databases, our background services, and integration, and this project will be over. We learn a lot, so hang in there. We have a lot to learn and a long way to go, but it will be worthwhile. So have a great day. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and like this video so that it may reach other people.